What a crazy week this is so far. I slowly get the impression that Nasdaq is like another meme coin. The fake information just pump and dump the Nasdaq so hard. That's insane. How are we liking this price action? Personally, I don't really like the price action too much because I prefer normal volatile markets. I think we can start by covering the different markets. It's Monday, so it's a good time to plan ahead, see what the current trading week can bring us. I'm starting to go on the volatility index. This is insane, right? Last time we had this sort of price action was August 24. Because as you can see, quite obviously the volatility index, for those that don't know what it is, it basically just plots how volatile the markets are currently. This sort of range is what's considered normal. Last year was, I guess, less volatile than it is now. So it is already quite volatile. We have some volatile days, but this is insane. We have only seen such volatility for a very brief period in August, but this is 2 days where we have such volatility in a row. And the last time we had this was like during COVID, early COVID. So I'm curious to see how long this period will last. I hope we get more reasonable volatility soon, but it doesn't look like it so far because every day there's a new update towards the tariff situation, which for me personally makes these markets incredibly hard to trade because I just prefer having decent sized ranges. And that's also due to my trading style because I guess you know the statistical mapping indicators by now. Basically, they provide you with statistical reversal points. So we're looking at a normal candle, and the StatMap pretty much gives you where bearish days form the high and the low, or bullish days form the high and the low, based on historical price action and statistics. Just looking at the volatility index, you see normal volatility are these ranges. This is what most data in the StatMap is used. Like most data in the StatMap has that sort of volatility. So quite obviously, we're currently trading way past that range. For example, on the Nasdaq, if you just look at the Nasdaq, these are the daily statistics, right? And obviously, for today, they look completely off. Literally, in the first minute, we surpassed what is usually the extreme of the day. So currently, we are in an extremely volatile market. And I do have alerts for those sort of levels. So this morning, when I checked my phone, I saw NQ, manipulation, and distribution in the same minute. I already knew without even looking at the charts, okay, today is an extremely volatile day. I saw a lot of people taking winning trades. I also saw some people blow their accounts. I think some people are great in these markets. I personally am not. So this is not my type of market. We can also look at the weekly ranges, look at these blue lines especially. On a bullish week, this is usually where the high of the week forms. On a bearish week, this is usually where the low of the week forms. This is Monday, and we have already reached both extremes of the weekly range. We'll see what sort of volatile week this is going to be. Let's take a step back and start with higher time frame analysis, going through different tickers. We are currently on the Nasdaq. We can see in what range, for example, we're trading. This is our higher time frame range. You can see we currently trade into discount. On the daily, we have recently purged these two lows, but we've just continued dumping. So far, there's no indication of bullishness in this chart. We do have some nice equal highs to target eventually, but in the current moment, even though this is a nice discount level, the price has not shown any willingness to trade higher. I don't want to look for longs on Nasdaq personally. Let's go to the next ticker. Same thing. I'm looking forward to eventually see this range taken out. So far, There's no sign for price to reach that level though. Gold, same thing, just trading down. But looking at the monthly and looking at the 3 monthly, to me, we're still on a very bullish trend. The past few days have been very bearish, so we need to look for signs of reversals. But I would not be surprised personally if we form the low of the week within this range, that order block, breaker block, whatever. I would not be surprised if we form the low of the week somewhere within here. We can once again look at the weekly levels. And yeah, I am looking for higher prices on gold. As you can see, today was volatile on the 15-minute time frame. Price rejected that weekly manipulation level, had this purge to then another purge before continuing to trade lower towards that weekly distribution level. I have not participated in that short because I am looking for higher prices. So far, this morning set up nicely. I took a break even long on the Nasdaq because I saw, okay, we had this down move, had a very strong hourly candle, took out this low right there, and then sort of trade higher, but there was not enough speed for price to continue trading higher. So we just dumped from there. I took a break even, and now I'm waiting for some structure to form again. So far, this is the earliest reference point on the hourly, so we'll see. Maybe tomorrow we can see a little bounce, then take out Monday's low again to trade higher. Dollar index as well. I'm not in this trade. It's just for my bias. I have these levels marked out on the Dixie. We took out this high of that range, and then we displaced lower the past month. Looking at the weekly, we can see the first week of March, heavy down close candle. We then had 2 consolidating weeks. End of March, purged those highs and then traded lower again. I definitely would not be surprised if we don't reach this high again and continue trading lower. We are also trading within this range, which can be considered a mitigation block. What is a mitigation block? I see it as a mitigation block because these were down close candles, taken out this low there. We had this liquidity pool down there, right? We traded higher. We took out this low again, which means this could have been a nice accumulation point for a price to trade higher. This is where liquidity has been exchanged. We visited that old liquidity exchange point. We formed this continuation purge on the daily as well. Now we're just trading into that range again. Looking at the 15-minute time frame, we can see we had this huge gap right there. If we extend this, we're currently trading within that. You can see we also traded above the weekly manipulation level. Once again, weekly manipulation level, if we are bearish, we want to see the high of the week form around this level. If we are bearish, we want to see the low of the week form around this level. So this is a very reasonable level if we are bearish for dollar to form some reversal. I don't really trust this purge so far. I would not be surprised if we won this once again, but I won't trade today anymore. But if we trade lower, then have this purge to continue, and then I guess I can flip bearish again. This is the dollar. I am currently bearish, but so far not really a confirmation for me to trade lower yet. What else? Oil is the current expectation for oil. I don't have a clear current draw. If guns to my head, I would guess that we continue trading these lows. Oil is not as clear to me on the higher time frame, which makes sense because I guess oil wants to have a stable price. It's not surprising that we don't have a clear draw on liquidity on the higher time frame. I would not be surprised if we see some trade lower, but no clear draw for me. Silver now took out these lows, which compared to gold, that was a huge down week last week. So I guess for the SMT friends, you can draw an SMT from down there to up there, because silver cleared out all these lows while gold maintains super strong. This could indicate bullishness. Let's look at the currencies. The British pound is currently in a bullish weekly trend, and we have purged the last few weeks lows. If we go on the daily, this was a very clean sort of reversal. We need to see if price can reclaim this low. Let's see if price can sort of get back into this range to trade higher. But I think euro is looking better, because as you can see, pound took out all these lows below March 10, and instead euro is trading within that bullish order block. This looks like a healthy market to me, because we had these down close candles into this huge gap, taking a lot of liquidity, and now on last Thursday we had a very strong candle closing above this range, and we have very clear liquidity being these equal highs. I have a very bullish bias on the euro for price to trade higher. I shared this outlook on the StatMap Discord server. We traded below this week open. One thing that's different between the Forex chart and the futures chart is that on the futures chart we have traded below the weekly opening price. On Forex we haven't, but I'm still waiting for more confirmation. But obviously in my Forex analysis, the dollar plays a super important role, and I once again think we could see lower prices, which adds to my idea of the euro trading higher. The Canadian dollar today, I posted this level this morning in the StatMap Discord server, because I think that reversal was setting up very nicely on the CAT, because as you can see, we had sort of a very narrow consolidation range within that weekly manipulation range. New York opened up, trading lower, taking out these lows into that weekly manipulation level. So I think this was a very clean sort of reversal. We're waiting for confirmation, so I was waiting for price to close above this, and from there we trade higher, but dollar didn't really play along, so we didn't get a major expansion. I think we could trade into these highs, so take out current days once again, but I would say I'm more bullish on a higher time frame on the euro than on the CAD. Yeah, the Aussie does not look that great so far. We opened up that week, trade into that distribution, rejected, but so far I would not say it's looking bullish to me. Yeah, I don't have a clear draw. It does look bearish, but at the same time I'm bullish on foreign currencies, and we have these highs, but to me this is definitely not a currency that I'm interested in trading right now. Same thing pretty much with the New Zealand dollar. We had a cleaner continuation to the downside, but again, I have no idea if it's continue going higher or lower. The yen. Okay, what about the yen? I haven't looked at this today so far. Let's see. And the StatMap levels worked nicely on the weekly, but this could go either way. I would lean towards high prices, but I guess it's more towards my bearish dollar outlook. My focus for this week would be the euro and gold. In TradingView you can create flags. That means you can color these in any sort of color. I typically just use green and red for bullish and bearish, and sometimes I use orange if I wait for more confirmation on any ticker. And it can be useful if you track multiple markets. But yeah, I guess this would be a very sort of quick outlook. And let's see if there are any questions. Abdul asked, can I only use StatMap? I would always pair StatMap with any sort of other trading strategy. This can be whatever you like trading. This can be ICT, EMAs, whatever. We provide you with accurate statistics of any market, but you are still the one who trades it. You are the one who has to decide if you're bullish or bearish. We just tell you where, if you're bullish or bearish, where the high or the low of any time frame forms, statistically speaking. You are still the trader. If you want to, you can use the StatMap on its own, but I would definitely recommend pairing it with some other analysis. Just out of interest, the statistical volatility with current volatility turned on pretty much just shows you how volatile the current candles are compared to how volatile they are based on statistics. You can see how volatile these hours are. These little bars are how volatile those hours are, statistically speaking. And these ranges are how volatile they were this week so far. It will probably be much crazier on the Nasdaq. Let's just make this large. This is absolutely insane, right? The typical 8 a.m. hour has a range of this, right? And we just trade it like this. Is absolutely insane. Think about it, right? 1,200 points in 1 hour. Actually, it was like 15 minutes, 5 minutes. Like, absolutely insane price action. So definitely watch out. If you trade the same size as you would usually in the markets, you either make a lot or lose a lot of money in a very quick time. Every market is just extremely volatile at the moment. Yeah, so I will tease, but I won't leak anything. In a video, I went over how to use the indicator to look for statistical kill zones, or how you can use those to time the market to not be in front of the market the whole day. But some people, if they see this, they struggle to identify on the first glance what this is supposed to mean. I get it, because these just looks like random colors. But those who know that in this case, red means volatile, yellow means less volatile. We will make it much easier to read. You will know much easier, are we currently trading in a volatile time or a less volatile time? And this is just one of the features coming. It makes the tool much easier to use. Yeah, I guess less confusing, which is always the goal with the StatMap indicators, because we try to present statistics super easy and understandable way. I mean, you can see quite well on gold that Monday tends to be less volatile. You can see Monday has this sort of range, and you can see how it's getting progressively larger towards the end of the week. So that's also why not only time of day can be interesting if you really want to get down to the statistics, but also day of the week. To the others as well, was there any moment when using the StatMap where you thought, okay, this is annoying, or like this could be better? Because like it can be like minor things as well. Have you had a bad experience where you think, okay, this could be improved with adding a feature or changing a setting or anything? If you have any suggestions for us how to improve the tools, like we're happy to improve them. We want you to be included in that process. Can you show us how you use this different StatMap timeframes? Lately with the crazy ranges, OHSC daily hasn't been respected like usual. Yep, exactly. The daily levels haven't been that accurate lately just because the volatility has been insanely large. That's why, for example, on the CAT, I was using the weekly levels today. I don't use them any different on all the time frames. So it's the same process. I was looking at this range. We had liquidity on both sides. And I saw on the weekly time frame, price was pushing downside, purging that low into that manipulation level. So that's why I used this level and posted this beforehand in the Discord. So I don't use the levels differently. I just switched to the daily levels, to the weekly levels, just because the daily levels are too extended currently. So that's why I use higher time frame levels as a guidance. MIF says on lower time frames, manipulation and distribution levels extend too far on the right side. Yep, that's what I thought initially, but we have that setting, line position. In there you can switch to current bar, which means it will extend until the current bar. As you can see, these are the weekly ranges. So by default, they would extend until the end of the week. But as we have chosen current bar in the settings, it will only project them until the current bar. That's great, thanks. Perfect. I'm glad this could help you. Urania asks, you could add a vertical line similar to the actual StatMap for the estimated time for highest volatility for that specific day, weekly session you're on. That's a good idea, Urania. For the statistical volatility indicator, we have already worked on a few updates. You will see it very soon. Please let us know afterwards if it suits your idea or if you would still want to see that vertical line. Gold is sort of forming a reversal right there on a lower time frame. Definitely not confirmed so far, but it doesn't look bad either. This is a very nice down close candle. I just mark this out and quickly send it in the StatMap Discord as well. My focus currently with all the markets dipping is more long-term as well. Just sort of more investing than trading. For me personally, those are very hard conditions because I do care about the statistics. And whenever the volatility index is that high, statistics don't matter that much because we surpass them a lot. So I tend to do better if the market is trading in reasonable ranges. By the way, if you are not in the StatMap Discord so far, I would very happily invite you to join the StatMap Discord as well. It just makes it easier to link you towards resources and help you specifically for StatMap tools. But yeah, thank you so much for joining, everybody. It was a pleasure talking to you again. Have a nice day, Ash. Have a nice day, Wisdom. Thank you guys for joining. We'll be talking soon again. And yep. Ciao, ciao. Thank you guys.